Jim, tell the listeners what might determine whether somebody is filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy or an individual is filing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
A Chapter 7 bankruptcy are individuals that have made less than the average median income for a family size, that particular family size in this state. If you make above that, you're compelled to file a Chapter 13. But on the other hand, there may be other reasons why you want to file a Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is the only way we can actually stop a foreclosure and do a mortgage modification or bring that mortgage current. You might be able to deal with taxes a little bit easier inside Chapter 13. The interest rate for income taxes is very small in Chapter 13 if you have a lien, or you don't pay any interest on priority taxes, which are unsecured or priority taxes under Chapter 13.
So, Jim, I know for the average layman out there, and even for me, this is all a bit confusing, and you've been a board-certified bankruptcy attorney for over 20 years. Do you offer free initial consultations to people to help them figure out what would be the best path for them?
That's right. We sit down with them for an hour or however long it takes and go through their entire background and tell them the pluses or minuses for filing a bankruptcy. And most of the time, if they have to file a Chapter 13, I'm pretty good at getting within a certain dollar figure, plus or minus maybe $100, of what they would have to pay to a Chapter 13 trustee in order to do a Chapter 13.
Mm-hmm. If you do all your homework right, there's no leeway or guesswork or discretion on the part of the bankruptcy judge. I mean, he looks at your facts and your filings and saying, Jim, you're right, granted, or can he pick and choose, which rules to enforce on a particular client?
Well, of course, there's the entire bankruptcy code, which is a set of statutes. Judges have certain leeway sometimes in interpreting those statutes, and certainly if they figure that someone is filing it in bad faith or to defraud people, they're not going to allow that. Mm-hmm. But given the fact that you're an individual that just had something happen to them, like an economic disruption in your life, you're most likely 90%, 99% of the time going to get that discharge.
Did you tell me one time that if you have everything is pretty normal for somebody, but they have just one person, one company that has sued them for a large amount of money, that you are prohibited from filing bankruptcy when you just have one large creditor out there?
No, that's not necessarily the case. If as long as you're not doing it to thwart the court system or defraud the creditor in some way, it's really the proportion or exactly your income stream. There are all kinds of other factors, but even if you have one huge, large creditor, you can discharge that debt in bankruptcy.